Ravi was born in a small village that had little to offer beyond dust roads and modest homes. His family struggled to survive. His father was a farmer whose crops often failed due to unpredictable rains, and his mother worked as a seamstress, stitching clothes for neighbors to make ends meet. Money was always scarce, and dreams were considered luxuries. From a young age, Ravi understood scarcity. He shared clothes with his siblings, ate simple meals, and learned to find joy in small pleasures. The fragrance of a blooming flower, the sound of a flowing stream, the laughter of friends playing cricket in the dusty fields. Yet, even as he found these fleeting moments of happiness, the weight of hardship was ever present. School was a challenge. Ravi's village had limited educational resources, classrooms overcrowded, books in short supply, and teachers overworked. Yet, he was determined to learn. He would wake up before sunrise to help his parents, then run to school, clutching a few borrowed books under his arm. Despite fatigue, he absorbed knowledge eagerly, often staying after class to read and revise. His determination did not go unnoticed. One of his teachers, Mrs. Sharma, saw the spark in Ravi's eyes. She encouraged him to aim higher, to believe that education could be a path out of poverty. "Ravi," she said, "your circumstances do not limit your potential. Your hard work will open doors no one else can." These words resonated deeply, giving him hope in moments of despair. But life tested him relentlessly. When he was 12, a severe flood destroyed much of the village's farmland, including his father's modest crops. The family struggled to find food, and debts mounted. Ravi watched his parents' exhaustion and worry, feeling helpless. Yet, rather than succumbing to despair, he doubled his efforts in school, believing that education was the key to changing their fate. As Ravi grew older, he faced another barrier: discrimination. Some members of neighboring villages looked down on his family because of their economic status, mocking them and questioning their worth. Ravi learned to face prejudice with dignity. Instead of responding with anger, he focused on proving himself through action, letting achievements speak louder than words. High school brought new challenges. Limited access to study materials meant Ravi had to improvise. He borrowed textbooks from friends, visited the village library whenever possible, and even wrote notes on scraps of paper when notebooks were unavailable. Despite these obstacles, he consistently ranked among the top students, a quiet rebellion against the odds stacked against him. One day, a regional scholarship competition was announced. The prize promised not only financial support, but also admission to a prestigious city school. Ravi, initially hesitant due to fear of failure, decided to participate. He spent countless nights preparing, often studying by the dim light of a single lamp. He faced setbacks, confusing questions, difficult concepts, and moments of doubt. But he persisted, reminding himself of his family's sacrifices and Mrs. Sharma's words. When the results were announced, Ravi had won the scholarship. The recognition was life-changing. It meant access to better education, exposure to new opportunities, and the chance to break the cycle of poverty. Yet, the transition to the city was overwhelming. The bustling streets, towering buildings, and unfamiliar environment created a sense of intimidation. He felt out of place among peers from wealthier backgrounds, doubting whether he truly belonged. Despite these challenges, Ravi persevered. He excelled academically, not by trying to compete with others, but by focusing on his strengths, learning continuously, and embracing every opportunity to grow. His humility, curiosity, and determination earned him respect among teachers and classmates alike. Beyond academics, Ravi faced personal trials. The city was expensive, and his modest scholarship barely covered living costs. He took part-time jobs, tutoring younger students, delivering newspapers, and assisting in shops, balancing work with studies. These experiences taught him discipline, time management, and resilience, strengthening his character in ways books alone could not. Over the years, Ravi's efforts bore fruit. He gained admission to a top university, pursuing engineering, a field that fascinated him. The rigor was intense, with long hours of study, complex projects, and high expectations. He faced moments of self-doubt, wondering if he could truly succeed among peers with more resources, guidance, and support. Yet each time he felt uncertain, he remembered the hardships he had already overcome. The floods, poverty, discrimination, and countless nights of study by dim lamps. He realized that perseverance and grit could surpass privilege. During college, Ravi also focused on community service. He mentored students from underprivileged backgrounds, sharing strategies for effective study, time management, and resilience. His story resonated, offering inspiration and practical guidance. Many of his mentees, once skeptical of their abilities, began to excel academically, breaking barriers they had once thought insurmountable. Ravi's personal life was equally challenging. Balancing work, studies, and family obligations required sacrifices. He missed social events, endured long commutes, and often felt exhausted. Yet, he maintained a vision of his goals and the life he hoped to create, not only for himself, but for his family and community. Upon graduation, Ravi secured a position at a leading engineering firm. The challenges did not end. The work was demanding, projects complex, and expectations high. But he approached each task with the same resilience that had carried him from the dusty lanes of his village to the skyscrapers of the city. He quickly earned recognition for innovation, diligence, and leadership. Ravi's journey also led him to address larger societal issues. He became involved in programs aimed at improving rural education, providing scholarships, and creating mentorship networks. He understood firsthand the barriers that disadvantaged youth faced and dedicated himself to creating opportunities that had once seemed impossible. Years later, Ravi returned to his village, not as the struggling boy he had been, but as a role model, mentor, and source of inspiration. Schools invited him to speak, families sought his guidance, and children looked up to him as proof that adversity could be overcome. He established a foundation to support education, health care, and skill development in underprivileged communities, transforming countless lives in the process. Reflecting on his journey, Ravi often thought about the obstacles that once seemed insurmountable: poverty, natural disasters, discrimination, and self-doubt. Rather than seeing them as limitations, he recognized that each challenge had shaped his resilience, empathy, and determination. The hardships that could have destroyed him instead became the crucible that forged his character and his purpose. Ravi's story demonstrates the extraordinary power of perseverance. External circumstances, no matter how harsh, do not have to dictate one's destiny. With determination, resourcefulness, and unwavering commitment, it is possible to rise above even the most extreme adversity and create a meaningful, impactful life. Today, Ravi continues to innovate, mentor, and advocate for marginalized communities. His story inspires countless others to believe in their potential, confront challenges with courage, and pursue their dreams relentlessly. He reminds us that adversity is not the end of a journey, but the beginning of a path toward growth, purpose, and transformation. Ultimately, Ravi's life illustrates a timeless truth. Challenges, no matter how severe, can be catalysts for extraordinary growth. With perseverance, vision, and courage, individuals can overcome seemingly insurmountable obstacles and create a legacy of hope, resilience, and positive change.